Highlights from the final round of this, the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship here on Blendline TV. Of course, huge thanks to Osborn's Transport for all of their support of multiple seasons, but including this one, season 2023. As we go down into turn one, and it's Chris Mole, our pole sitter, who's going to convert that into the lead. Around the outside is trying Jared Harbour. A little bit of a lock-up there. It was incredibly close between the pair of them in qualifying. Chris Mole looking to seal another championship title here this weekend. But you can see he's not going to have it all his own way with Glenn Deering sitting in behind in the number 4 I Got a Car. C&B Engines supporting that one as well, as we go on board with Dave Proglio in the MHA European Car Specialist car. We've seen Proglio be able to pull off some fantastic moves at Sydney Motorsport Park. I don't think he's going to get that one done on Glenn Deering in the early stages. And sure enough, he's going to slot into 4th place. Immaculate presentation yet again from all of the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship competitors. We keep seeing year on year that standard grow, and here at the final round, there's a lot to be built off as a platform into 2024. Make sure to check out the website and the Facebook page for all the information on a huge calendar that's coming. It's going to include a trip to Bathurst for these guys, so plenty of racing at great racetracks, as we see now Kane Robinson to the inside of Brandon Healy. Brandon Healy's had a great first season in the hands-on first aid HQ extra car. Found himself battling with Kane Robinson a fair bit, and just in front of them as well is Ashton Parker, who's been able to pick up a few Class B victories here throughout the season, fighting amongst all of these guys. Of course, you've got 2 divisions, A and B, in HQ Racing. So there's always plenty to play for throughout the field. And you can see just in behind Stuart Spry in the 13 car, he's looking to make a move on these guys as well. So we'll see what happens with him as he tries to hold tight in behind. They're all trying to catch up to Ashton Parker, who's sitting nicely at the moment up towards the front as Mulligan pulls off in the number 5 car. So Jeff Mulligan, the C&B Engines I Got a Car, of course, partner to the Glenn Deering car as well. Teammates there, not able to continue much further in this race. He's parked off down at turn 2. Harbour continuing to put the pressure on the back of Chris Mole in the early stages of this one. Deering sitting right there waiting for a look. Proglio just starting to drop off behind in the MHA Euro car. I'm not sure if he's quite got the pace to go with these guys out in front. It seems to ebb and flow between a lot of them round on round here, even though we've had more rounds than we may well have liked to have had at Sydney Motorsport Park this year due to New South Wales Motorsport circuit problems. The guys, every time they come here, it seems to change up who's a little bit quicker, who's a little bit slower, who's got a better setup in, as now Proglio gets the draft and down the inside of Deering into turn 1. They're going to go side by side. Great aware driving from the pair of them, giving a little bit of room, but not more than is needed is Deering. He's going to try to fight on the outside down into turn 2. He's tried to pinch Proglio as tight as he possibly can there on the inside line of 2, which would hope would give him the run over the hill here for 3. We go on board with Proglio, and sure enough, that's given Deering the run there, though. Proglio's tried to switch it back to see if he can get down the inside at 4. It's not going to quite work for him. And you can just see the way that these two battling has pulled them away from the leading pair as Proglio shows the nose into 6, decides better of it and pulls back in. But it shows how much in HQ Racing you get involved in battling, you just slow each other down just that little amount and it starts to pull you away from the leading battle. You can see Mole and Harbour starting to walk away down the road from this pair, so Proglio really needs to get the pass done now, because he'll lose the draft down the main straight from those 2 in front and not be able to get himself back onto the rear of them, as he now makes the move on Deering. Second time around, and he's made it work comfortably down into turn 1. It'll be up to him to defend now into turn 2. Try to make sure that Deering can't make the ultra long line work around the outside, and sure enough, he's been able to keep Deering behind for now. So that's going to enable him to put his head down and start chasing up after those cars in front, as we look further back and see Jason Johnston has fallen into the clutches of Glenn Robinson behind. And now Kane Robinson behind. So now Kane Robinson with a bit of work to do to try to get past him and get himself up to Ashton Parker, who he was behind in the earlier stages but not quite able to get close enough to be able to have a go at. We saw him battling with Brandon Healy. So Brendan Healy has fallen back a little bit here in the hands-on first aid HQ extra car as Johnson slides it in the late stage of this race. He's feeling pressure from Robinson behind and the incentive to try to get to Ashton Parker. But out in front, Chris Mole should be able to bring it home from here, though. It looks like Harbour's going to try to run and see if he can throw anything at him down the main straight for the last time. Here's Harbour tucked into the draft. He's not going to quite be able to do it, and Chris Mole will take the opening victory here at the final round of the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship. Jared Harbour, Dave Proglio, Glenn Deering and Darren Parker rounding out your 5. We caught up with Chris Mole down in the pits to have a chat about his race 1 victory and also taking pole position for the round.
Managed to jag pole by only 2/100ths of a second from Jared Harbour. Congratulations to Jared. Cracking lap times down into the 1:58s. So that's super quick. That's fast around here. So that's it was really good. Quali ended up well. Just had our first race of the day, and had my mirrors were full of green car. Jared Harbour again. The only time that there wasn't a moment in that race that there wasn't green flashing about in the mirror. So congratulations to Jared and David Proglio for 2nd and 3rd. And I managed to come away with the win, so pretty happy about that. The track's okay. It's a little bit greasy in sections. There's been a bit of oil down from yesterday and some earlier races today. So it's a little bit greasy, but it's not too bad. It's quick enough that we were again. I think Jared got fastest lap of the race in that one with a 58 again. So congratulations to him. It's a cracking time, and it's not too bad. It's if we're pulling those sort of times, it's pretty good. Yeah, well, at the moment I came into this weekend only just leading the championship by 12 points. Managed to get a couple of points on the guy, on Dave Proglio, who's in 2nd at the moment. And the battle for 2nd, heating up again. So, between the 3 of us, we're all only about 30 points, within 30 points of each other, which is close enough that, one little minor boo-boo and you can go from 1st to 3rd or 4th pretty quickly. So it's a nice tight championship, and, wrap it all up tomorrow, and looking forward to it. Hopefully I can clinch it.
Great insights there from Chris Mole on the opening race victory and just how tight things are between him and Jared Harbour. Looked like Mulligan there trying to jump the start down the inside. He may well get a penalty for that one as there's smoke billowing out from under that car as well. He's down the inside of Darren Parker into turn 1 just at the back of this shot, but Mulligan well and truly leapt out there and picked up a few moves, tried to pinch a few positions before he even got to the start line. So not sure how the officials will look at that one, but Mulligan will find himself up high in the positional charts in the early stages as you see the rest of the field sliding in behind. It's going to be a battle that we saw start in race 1 continue between these two. Ashton Parker just in front of Jason Johnston. Behind them, Kane Robinson. Then you got Brendan Healy, who didn't finish race 1. Unfortunately for him, the car failed just into the final complex. So he's now going to try to pick up where he left off in race 1 and see if he can pick up a few positions following Kane Robinson up the hill, who's looking to the inside of Jason Johnston. Not quite able to do anything there, and he'll have to sit in behind for another couple of corners at least. It all comes out onto the draft here at Sydney Motorsport Park. The long main straight, great for HQ Racing with the Osborn's Transport HQ Holdens. Of course, huge thanks to Osborn's Transport for all of their support of HQ Racing over multiple seasons. The team at Osborn's really love their HQ Racing. They've gone Aussie racing car racing this year as well, with some success amongst their drivers. So if you want to support grassroots motorsport and support those who are looking after series to keep them running, make sure to pick up the phone and have a chat to Osborn's Transport for your transport needs. As we see here, Deering battling with Proglio. They're fighting a little bit harder than they did in race 1. A little bit of opposite lock there for Proglio in the mid-corner. So a lot of work for him to try to stay in front of Deering here, where he was at the end of the first race, and they're starting to close in on Jared Harbour as well. You can see door to door down the hill yet again. You just can't showcase it enough. HQ Holden's great respectful racing amongst a lot of them, giving enough room to be able to keep the cars straight but still fight hard. It's racing that you love to see, and if you want to be able to get trackside and see it, or even support HQ Holdens in 2024, make sure to check out their website and Facebook page for more information. There's going to be some pretty cool events on the calendar, both nationally and at New South Wales level, so plenty of racing for you to be able to do if you want to get out there, or be able to support if you'd like to be able to follow these guys around and see some great races. We see Jason Johnston. He's dropped away a little bit from Ashton Parker there, starting to fall into the clutches of Brendan Healy, who has been able to get past Kane Robinson. So Brendan Healy now working his way up onto the back of Jason Johnston. We've got a yellow flag down at turn 2. So I'm not sure exactly what's happened there. Green flag on corner exit, so we might just have a car stop down there at the moment. So we see Jason Johnston now closing that gap to Ashton Parker. Just in front, Darren Parker has been able to close up to Glenn Deering as well. So Glenn Deering, after fighting with Proglio in the early stages, is now battling with Parker. And Proglio looks like he's caught up with Harbour as well as just Mulligan there parked on the inside. So that's what threw me for a second, trying to see which of the eye-gutter cars had stopped down at turn 2, and it's Mulligan. So unfortunately for him, it looks like that smoke from the car in the early stages has developed into something more significant, as we see Jason Johnston to the inside of Ashton Parker. Turn 6 shows the nose, decides not to throw it down the inside. And yet again, that's the respectful racing that we keep talking about for the Osborn's HQ Holden Championship. They really like to race each other hard, but great camaraderie down in the pit lane. Many of the teams working together. Stories from the Nationals over the years include teams working to make head gasket changes for each other to get everybody back out there on track to ensure that the racing has the biggest fields they can possibly have. As now to the inside goes Kane Robinson on Brendan Healy. He's not quite going to make it work. Healy drives it around the outside and stays in the position for now. But you'd have to say, with how much pace Robinson had just then, he might be able to do a positional move soon. And just starting to come in behind them as well is Stuart Spry. There he is. And he is going to look for a position in this portion of the race, as well as these two battle in front of him. So that's what happens. We saw it in race 1, of course, between Proglio and Deering. The moment they started battling, they pulled themselves away from the leading group. And this is what's happening here as well in this group of cars. You see them start battling, and the gaps just open up that little amount. Brendan Healy with a wide run through turn 6 in the HQ Extra car. He's going to bounce it through the grass, and that's dropped him a position on Kane Robinson. So you can see as well, the smallest mistake, you lose a little bit of momentum in the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship, and you'll drop yourself down a couple of positions. At the front, Proglio now having a look at Harbour down the inside at turn 1. Harbour battling hard to make it work around the outside. Holds the position for now. But Proglio, will he show the nose at 2? No, he doesn't. Lock up for him, though. Big, hard driving from the MHA Euro driver. And he knows that he just wants to get out after Chris Mole. He knows he can beat Chris Mole. He's beaten him before. And he wants to get back up there and fight with these guys. There's a big opposite lock moment through turn 3. He is pushing hard, no doubt about that, as Chris Mole comes through turn 4, leading quite comfortably, turn 5, sorry, leading quite comfortably up over the hill and into turn 6 for the final time in this second race of the weekend for the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship. You can see Proglio not quite there with Harbour, and he is going to have to settle in behind for the moment at least, and maybe not be able to drag him to the line. Keep an eye out on those two cars behind. Harbour is very wide out of the final corner. That'll give Proglio the opportunity, but it's going to be Chris Mole who leads them down the straight and takes a second race victory here for the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship. Jared Harbour second, third goes to Proglio, fourth Darren Parker, and fifth Glenn Deering. Final race highlights for the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship here at Sydney Motorsport Park. It's the final race of the season, the last chance to take a victory here until 2024 rolls around. And it's going to be Chris Mole who leads them down into turn 1. Darren Parker with a great start around the outside. Looks like Glenn Deering sliding in behind them, as well as Proglio. I think he's disappeared down the field. He has. Look at him there, right in the middle of the shot. He's now on the inside of the 93 of Glenn Robinson, so he is well and truly out of position in the early stages of this one. We'll have to get an idea of what happened to him as Parker tries to make it work with Glenn Deering. He's going to get himself up to third place for the moment. Will Deering put in the big push down into turn 5? He does, and gets back up into third position. So Darren Parker relegated to fourth. Behind him, Ashton Parker holding off that field of cars that we saw him battling with in the first two races. It looks like Jason Johnston's going to show the nose yet again at 6. Ashton Parker gives him plenty of room And a little bit of incentive there as well in the Nationwide Plastics Parker Motorsport car, so he's going to have to watch out as they swing through the back section as we go on board with Proglio and have a replay of the start. And yeah, just as he shifts to third, look at that, can't get the gear, and he just loses out. Look at all those cars going past him, so a lot of work for Proglio to do. Not how he wanted the last race of the season to start, and he now will have plenty of work ahead of him to try to get himself back through this field as they all battle on here at Sydney Motorsport Park. We see them coming down the main straight. It looks like Proglio's on the inside of Healy as Kane Robinson is battling with Ashton Parker and Jason Johnston in there as well. They're all fighting for position here in the early stages, and you can just see, yet again, talking about it no end, but every time these guys start battling, they open up the gaps, and it just slows the cars down enough on momentum that the gaps open up to the leaders. 91 Kane Robinson now leads this group, which is for 6th place in the race, as Parker gets to the pushed to the outside by Proglio. No contact between the pair of them. He saw him coming, he gave him room, and Proglio now fights to the inside and gets himself up another position on this charge back through the field. You'd have to expect, though, that it's going to run out of momentum at some point, just because the gaps then start to open a little bit too much for that draft to work for him down the main straight as he now goes to the inside of Jason Johnston. He's making light work of working his way through these guys, which in many ways he should. He will be right back up towards the front of this field as we see him come now around through turn 1 and 2, and now he's going to look to the outside, I think, of Kane Robinson. Note that becomes the inside as Robinson drifts a little bit wide into turn 2. So there you go, Proglio right back up inside the top 5 of this race, and he'll now try to put his head down and chase down Parker and Deering up in front, including these two as well, Mole and Harbour. Jared Harbour all over the rear bumper of Chris Mole. He's followed him home twice here at Sydney Motorsport Park this weekend, and in qualifying as well, wasn't quite able to get there. So now we'll see if Harbour can throw anything at Mole in the late stage of this race. He sure can. Down the inside into turn 2, and Harbour is going to snatch the lead of the race. Mole saw him coming and gave him plenty of room, but this is not a position Chris Mole has been in yet this weekend to be sitting behind somebody for any sort of period of time. So Mole now through turns 4 and 5. He's got the run up the hill over to 6. We'll see if he can make the issue work down into turn 6. No, he breaks early. He's given a little bit of room to Harbour there. Great driving from the pair of them. Of course, Mole knows that he doesn't need to get involved in anything here. He can just bring it home and collect the championship. But no doubt he'll want the season to go out on a high as Harbour pushes hard, and he's gone wide at the final corner. That gives Mole the opportunity down the inside on the main straight. So Mole retakes the lead into turn 1. What can Harbour do here? He's looking all over the back of him. He'll probably try to switch to the inside, which he does. Down into turn 2. It's a battle of the late breakers between the Command Digital Signage and the Equity Views Constructions cars. And Jared Harbour back to the lead of the race in the closing stages. Can he hold on to take a victory in the final race of the Osborn's Transport New South Wales HQ Holden Championship for season 2023? A huge year of racing, and this would top it off well with Harbour pinching a victory from the outstanding Mole, who has done a great job all season, and yet again here at Sydney Motorsport Park for the final round. They've put on another excellent showcase of HQ racing for this country and just shown how good all the racing can be. As in the background, it looked like Deering ran wide at the hairpin. Mole is throwing everything he can at it into the final corner. You saw him get a little bit sideways, a little bit of opposite lock. He's trying to get the drive out of this final corner. Harbour understeering. He's used up everything he's got in those Kendra tyres. And on the run to the flag, it's going to be Mole looking to the inside. Can Harbour hold on? He's come to the line here, and as they cross the line, it's Harbour who takes a victory from Chris Mole. Third place will go to David Proglio, fourth to Darren Parker, and fifth to Glenn Deering in the final race of the season for the HQ Holdens. Great celebrations there around the second corner as the guys enjoy this final race of the year, and thanks to the officials and all the fans as well. Down in the pits, we caught up with Jared Harbour to chat about his victory and Chris Mole for taking home the championship.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a wild race. Start wasn't the best, but I think I made up for it. credit to Chris Mole, that was awesome. He led most of the race. Got him into turn 2 there at one stage. Then he got me on the straight, and then just got him back at turn 2 again and held him off right to the end. It was absolutely wild. It's hard racing, good racing, clean racing. But wouldn't be able to do it without Equity Views, major sponsor, Mum and Dad, Race Dental, Winston Express, Garland and Red Robin. So without them, wouldn't be possible. So thanks to everyone, and it was awesome.
Fantastic. It was quite a photo finish. We had to look it up because it was so close we couldn't tell who won. 3,000 of a second, so really close.
Wow, that's very close. No, it was good racing with Chris. He's been in it for a while. He's number 1, and I think he's got it this year, championship leader. But to race with him, it's just awesome. It's unreal.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race. Yeah, it's one that'll be spoken about for a while. I think Jared did an absolute stellar job out there. I was putting pressure on him. You know, he got past me, I got past him. We battled for a little while, and whilst he was in front, he was driving the wheels off it, and he was, like I said to him, kept his composure and did really, really well. So credit to Jared for the race win in that last one. Championship, 2 in a row. It's fantastic, mate. It's I don't know, a little bit speechless at the moment. It was neck and neck all this weekend. We were only a few points in front, but to come away with it for the second year in a row is it's something special for us as a team. So credit to the Command Digital team and everybody that's put the hard yards in. You know, Nan and Pop, Rod and Karen, who without those guys, doing what they do week in, week out to get the car set and ready, and all the knowledge that Rod's got is just amazing. So thank you very much to them for everything that they've done to get us out here.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed all the action from the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship here on Blendline TV in season 2023. If you'd like to know more about the championship and what they're up to in 2024, make sure to check out their website and Facebook page for more information. Until next time, thanks for joining us. Bye for now.